Can you please tell us how did you got started on Airbnb and short-term rentals?
Well, when we bought our farm, I think it was in 2013, there was an old barn here, and we were going to restore the barn, but it cost more to do that than to put up a new shop. So we put up a new shop, and at the time, we had a hired hand. So we built living quarters for him inside the shop. And then he decided he wanted to go more over the road stuff. So he left us, which was fine. We left, it was good. So then it sat for a little bit, and we rented it long-term to somebody who was working on some wind turbines. And then it sat for a while. And then I offered it to the sheriff department as a place for domestic violence situations, for people to come hide out or whatever. I just wanted it to be used. And they never used it in a whole year. So then I decided, well, what the heck, let's try Airbnb.
Okay, and how did you discover Airbnb and how did you decide to try it out?
Actually, our hired hand told us about it because he uses Airbnb a lot when he travels places. So
okay, and you started renting this old barn, is that in what year?
We don't have it in the barn. We leveled the barn and built a brand new building in the place of the barn.
A brand new building,
right?
Is it inside the barn, in the barn? How is it?
The living quarters is on the east side of the building, and then we've got a shop that goes down the middle of it, and then the barn is on the west side of the building. So there's a shop in between the animals and the LQ and the Airbnb.
Oh, I see now. And what year did you started Airbnb with that building?
What year?
Yes.
It will be 2 years in July, I believe. So
2 years in
2020.
July, so July 2020.
Right.
In the middle of the pandemic. And how was your experience starting to rent, with the current situation at that time?
To be honest, we went into it thinking that, we'll go ahead and list it in July because we figured that mostly we would get hunters because this is a big place for people to come hunt. And immediately it started getting booked by travelers who were just traveling through. So it went really well, actually. We were just so surprised.
Also, there were many travelers still around your area around your time?
We live right on a major highway, and people travel a lot, but mostly it's truckers. But yeah, there's nothing really around here for people. There's no sightseeing anything here, so I'm surprised people stop.
So they just stop to stay like a night and then continue hitting the road?
Right.
Okay.
Right. Now, I did have one lady come stay a whole week just because she wanted to get out of the big city and get away for a while. And it's like, well, that's cool.
Okay, that's cool. So since the very beginning, it has been short-term rentals. You do one-night minimums and things like that?
Correct.
Okay, that's great. And so you told me there is a barn, so I assume there's animals. Do you also offer like an experience with those for people who might stay longer or who?
We tell them if they want to meet, because we do have one very friendly cow that you can pet. If they want to meet it, they have to let us know, and we won't let them into pasture, but we'll bring her up to the fence and they can pet her, because the liability when they go in the pasture could be outrageous.
Yes.
So and same with the chickens. I mean, I've had some that really wanted to hold the chickens. So yeah, okay.
And do they just request it, or you also offer it as an Airbnb experience?
I don't offer it if they see them and they ask about them, then yeah, I'll let them.
Okay, that's great. And okay, so around there in Selden, Kansas, are there many Airbnbs or short-term rentals in general?
There's getting to be more. I was the first one in Selden, and now there's a gentleman redoing an old Victorian house in Selden, and I think he's thinking about Airbnb in it. But his nephew bought another house in Selden. He actually lives in Colorado, and he comes out here we have a big 4th of July fireworks, huge thing. And he's part of that. And so they're out here part-time. So he thinks he's going to Airbnb his house while he's not there. So it will have more.
So by now, how many would you say are there?
Right now I'm the only one, but probably by the end of the year, there might be 3.
You're the only one Airbnb there. So
in Selden, yes.
Mm-hmm.
There's one about 8 miles away.
Mm-hmm. So you tell me you mostly get travelers and
hunters.
How would be travelers and hunters? So is there any seasonality really for you?
Yeah, I'm really busy from like September through the 1st of February because it is hunting season. And I do offer some pretty good amenities for hunters.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a hanging game gambrel. So if they shoot a deer, they can bring it into the shop and clean it and cut it up and package it if they want, or cape it out or whatever they want to do. Same with pheasants. We've got a place where they can clean them. And then we've got, warm water and whatnot in the shop. And they're not putting it down my sink in my Airbnb, and they're not,
Mm-hmm.
The one guy says, "Oh, I've cleaned a deer in a hotel bathtub before." Let's not do that. So I just as soon have the amenities for them to be able to do that. So
okay, it's great that you offer those amenities. Did you think about getting those just along the way when you started doing Airbnb, or did you already have it before for personal use?
Not the gambrel. I mean, we did have the sink in the shop for cleaning birds because we do have regular pheasant hunters that come out once a year. So yeah, the gambrel was something else. So, and it's been used a lot. So it's okay.
Okay, that's great then. And can you tell me how much would be your occupancy rate during, these high seasons?
I generally try to keep it about the same. It's about $85 a night.
And you get booked all the month during all the month?
I get booked frequently, yes, as much as I want to. A lot of times I'll go in and block off dates because I know I'm working and I don't want to have to deal with turning over a room or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or when my mom was going through cancer treatments, I would be taking her to and from Hayes, which is like a 250 mile round trip, something like that. So, on those days I would block things off so I didn't have to worry about people. Because our community is only 200 people. So finding somebody who come and clean to my standards.
Yes, that's right. It would be a little bit hard. Okay, so yes. For the days you have open, you are mostly booked during the high season, and during the low season, how would you say is the occupancy rate?
Probably once or twice a week.
Once or twice a week. And you get the calendar open during all the months if you don't have, anything to do?
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's great. So you talk about cleaning. You just do it yourself, right?
Correct.
Okay. So is it, a hard work? Is it a big place, or is it easy to do it for you?
It's 15 by 15 foot square, and then it's got an attached 9 by 8 bathroom or something like, I can't remember the size of it, but so it's fairly small, but I wash everything. I wash the beds all the way down to the mattress cover. I wash the curtains. I wash the shower curtains. I wash the rugs. I wash everything, every turnover. And then I have a, what are they called? An ozone machine that I run to kill off any germs. And then I run an air scrubber, and then I, wipe everything down with Microban just to be safe because, it's COVID. So.
Even cleaning the curtains in between stays. That's
yes,
great.
I clean everything because you don't know what people touch.
That's right. I agree with that. So you told me about your average daily rate being $85. You keep Correct. It up during all year?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, yep. So in the past years, can you give me, like an estimate of your annual revenue?
I could not. I just let my accountant deal with all of that stuff because me money, it's just like it goes in the account and my husband deals with it. So
Okay, so can we do a quick calculation just to keep it? You say,
A weekly
okay.
weekly calculation is probably, let's see, about 100 and 2 nights, 180, because they take their taxes and whatnot out. So 180 a week, I would guess.
180 per week. Okay, I'll do the calculation later to get the monthly or
Okay,
annual.
I don't have a pen here. I would try to do it for you.
$180 per 4 weeks would be 720 per month, would you say?
Roughly,
That's right?
yeah.
Roughly,
Yeah.
okay. And per 12 months, 8,000 a year?
Roughly, yeah, roughly.
Okay. It's still a good number, really good number. And would
For doing
you?
it a part-time thing, yes, because I don't want to be that busy. So, and it's mostly because I don't want the space to deteriorate. Because when you don't use a space like a house or whatever, it goes downhill fast.
That's right.
So,
that's
and
right.
our long-term goal is with this space, when we get too old and we don't want to do the mowing and we don't want to have to fix fence or whatever, feed the cows, we will let a young man or woman stay here for free in exchange for that. Okay. That's our long-term plan. So.
Okay, so you're not planning on continuing with the Airbnb business?
Well, not forever. I mean, probably until we retire, which is another 10, 15 years.
And during this time, are you planning on doing something more with Airbnb, adding, some more locations, doing some renovations, anything you have planned for this Airbnb business, part-time business you have?
Not at the moment, because we live in a small community, and if there's going to be 2 other ones, I don't want to have that much competition around here,
Yeah, I fully understand. So for now, you're pretty good. It's like passive income, right? You don't use it necessarily. You don't rely on the money to do anything, right?
No, I use it to upgrade things here in the LQ. Like I bought a towel warmer and I bought robes. I'm just trying to make it more high end for a good value for your dollar, So.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Okay, yeah, that's great to hear. And usually, like, the most kind of guests you get, would you say it is like travelers or hunters?
I would say 50-50.
50-50. Okay, so you try to keep it really friendly to the both audiences, right?
Right.
Okay, that's great. So another thing I would like to ask you is, how do you figure out pricing, or how did you figure out, like, at start?
I looked at what a hotel room costs, and we do have a hotel here in Selden, but it's not. It's a very old hotel, and it's usually booked up because of all the regular people who come through. Like last year, I think somebody went through one of her walls and took out 2 of her hotel rooms, but she's back up in business. But she doesn't like to be very busy either, because she also runs a cafe right there. So it's just, she just whatever. So, and she does give rooms to people who can't afford it. I mean, I know that the one time there was a lady that was walking by a lady that I work with's house, which is clear out in the country, and they picked her up and brought her into town, and Gloria put her in one of the rooms, and then I took her to Oakley, I believe, because she wanted to go there because she knew somebody. Anyhow, so we all work as a community to help each other out and to help others who need our help. So, and I've let people stay here for free also. People traveling through that have hard times. So
yeah, I completely understand. That's very kind of you, and that's very kind of your community as well.
We've got a great community, best one ever.
That's great. And do people have, if someone gets to visit you, in their way to their destination, what do they have to do in the city? Is there any cafe? Is there any place they can visit? Anything really?
Our little town has a cafe, And then on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we've got a bar, and it has nicer food, and let's see, what else does our community has everything for a town as small as we are. We've got a chiropractor. We've got a doctor that comes in for 2 or 3 days a week. We've got a body shop. We've got 2 construction workers. We've got the biggest lumber yard around. We've got a furniture store. We've got a grocery store. We've got a gym, a library, a walking trail, just all kinds of things. So it's a really cute little community.
Is everything close to your listing?
It's about a mile away. I live about a mile out of town, right on the highway though.
Okay, so not too far away. And you told me previously about you have a big 4th of July event, right?
Oh man, yes. Our little town of 200 grows to about 5,000 to 6,000 people.
Can you tell me a little more about it?
We've got rocket scientists and NASA engineers that have developed a wicking system specifically for our fireworks show. They come out and they set it up and they set it off, and it's just amazing.
Oh my God, that's great. And do you usually get really busy around that time?
I do, yes.
Okay, do you raise your daily rate?
No.
Just keep it the same.
Yeah, well, the people that are coming in that are renting the room are usually people that are helping with the fireworks. So, because the other people that come into town, it's just from communities around. Because we've got like a town 20 miles north of us, a town 20 miles south of us, and a bigger town about 30 miles west of us. So we have a lot of people that come in.
Okay, and all the people that come in are from surrounding areas?
Most of the time, yes, unless they're visiting other people.
I completely understand. So big 4th of July event. I get it. Okay, great.
Huge.
And what do they have there? Just like the fireworks, or is there?
No, they've got
activities?
It's like an all-day event. They've got a dunk tank. They've got kids for games. They've got cornhole tournament. They used to have chicken poop bingo, and I provided the chickens for it, but they haven't had that since the COVID thing. So anyhow, and the Girl Scouts were huge in our area, and they do us so much. So
okay, I see. So that's the big event of your area. That's great. So can you tell me were there any particular challenges, or a challenging time during all these period you have as a host?
It's been pretty easy, I think. So I don't know. My most complicated guest was immunocompromised. Her son was, so she had me strip everything cloth out of the Airbnb, and she brought her up, which was fine. It made it less cleaning for me.
That's all right.
But that's the worst thing I've had to deal with so far.
Okay, so yeah, you have a pretty good experience. And lastly, any tips that you like to?
Oh, you're gone again.
Can you hear me now?
I can't hear you.
Hi, can you hear me now?
There you are. Yep.
Okay, sorry, it was my microphone. So are there any tips that you like to give for future Airbnb hosts, current Airbnb hosts, regarding, I don't know, maybe your Airbnb experience, or doing, Airbnb as,
be very specific about what they could potentially encounter at your place. Like we're a farm stay, so there's critters, there's bugs, we've had fox in our yard, coyotes in our yard, snakes in our yard. I put all of that in the listing so people cannot go back to Airbnb and say, they didn't tell me this, I want a refund. You know, because I've heard horror stories where people get everything refunded because they saw a little bug. You know, bugs are everywhere.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
okay. Yeah, that's a great tip.
Be as relaxed as you possibly can. Things will go better if you can relax about things. You know, oh, you're gone again.
Yeah, sorry, my microphone was muted.
You're good.
Can you hear me now?
So, yep. So,
okay. Yeah, those are great tips. Thank you for that. And the last thing I would like to ask you, now that you talked about the, snakes and foxes around there, people don't have trouble with that, right?
They haven't yet. Nope.
Okay, so it's not a casualty that they're going to go out and encounter them and be really scared or anything?
No. I mean, last night there was a skunk in the yard, and the only way I knew that is because I could smell it this morning. You know, critters come through. It's just part of life. So, you know.
Yeah, I totally get it. So yeah, that would be it for today. Thank you a lot for your time and for your tips. And
you're very welcome.
Share your story.